Hi, I'm Ari Whitten, #1 best-selling author of Forever Fat Loss and creator of the Revolutionary Energy Blueprint System. And in this virtual training series, I'll be showing you simple, science-based, and ultra-powerful steps to overcome fatigue and dramatically increase your energy levels. Tons of people tell me all the time that their lack of energy negatively impacts their life in so many ways. So here's a bold statement that I'm going to make right now. By following what I'm going to teach you in this training series, I can pretty much guarantee that you'll be able to at least double your energy level and eliminate constantly feeling fatigued. So let me ask you a question. What would it mean to your life if you could double your energy levels? Seriously, what happens if you actually double your energy levels? What would it mean to your relationships if you could double your energy and not always be tired? Or to your career and financial success? What would it mean to how you feel inside if you actually did it and doubled your energy levels? It would be a big deal, right? Of course it would. Think about that for a moment. Visualize what your life could be like if you woke up every day filled with energy and vitality. It's a pretty good scene, right? My goal is to show you how to make that your new reality. Let me share a note I received recently from a woman named Eva who was on this training just a few months ago and put in a great short testimonial to show how this was made a reality for her. You and your program are such a gift. Here are a few of the effects that I enjoy now thanks to your methods. I awake full of energy in the mornings, whereas before I had major problems to wake up and get up. I eat according to a new schedule now and have lost my anxiety about needing to constantly have food within reach to maintain my energy. My energy has become much stronger and more stable. I lost 3 kilograms of fat without even dieting. No more abdominal cramps during menstruation. I'm not such a wimp anymore, but I actually look for adventures and little challenges for my body. And my husband said a week ago, "You look so good, really healthy and rejuvenated, fewer wrinkles." And that's how I feel. Pretty cool, right? How would you like that to be you? In this virtual training, I'm going to be unveiling the exact 6-step formula that you need to follow if you want to overcome fatigue and take your energy to the next level. This system is called the Energy Blueprint because it's literally the blueprint for how to power up your body at the cellular level and take your energy to new heights. This is the first and only comprehensive, scientific, evidence-based system for energy enhancement ever created. In this video, the first in this virtual training, here's what you're going to learn. The 2 core strategies for overcoming your fatigue and building high energy levels like you had when you were younger. And trust me, this isn't going to be the same old common sense health advice that you've heard before. How lack of energy wrecks people's lives and relationships, and how to make sure that you will not be guilty of allowing that to happen to you going forward. We're also going to talk about 2 key energy zappers that are sabotaging your energy levels and how to eliminate them forever and get started today on building real vitality and energy that will last for the rest of your life. So let's get right into it. Today, we have a massive epidemic of fatigue and exhaustion. Here are some scary stats to think about. In the American Psychological Association's 2012 Stress in America survey, 45% of women reported feeling chronically fatigued due to stress. Surveys from WebMD have found that chronic, low-level general fatigue is often people's biggest health concern, and more than half of us experience feelings of constant tiredness at work. Simply put, chronic fatigue, daytime sleepiness, stress, anxiety, depression, exhaustion, and chronic lack of energy have become epidemics in our society. And that's a huge problem because energy levels are at the core of having a great life. If you don't have energy, your mood and your quality of life suffer. If you don't have energy, you lose motivation and drive in life. If you don't have energy, you're going to lose passion in your relationship. If you don't have energy, you can't do a great job with your kids because you can't keep up with them. If you don't have energy, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder to be successful in your career. When your energy is low, everything in your life suffers because of it. So whatever you want to be and do in life, realize that energy is at the core of making that happen. Energy is everything. It's literally the currency of life. You want to know the difference between something that's alive and something that isn't? It's that the thing that's alive has cells that are creating energy. Look, We all want to have enough gas in the tank to follow our dreams. We want to feel agency, like we have control over our future and like we have what it takes to make things happen in our lives. We want to feel powerful. We want to feel passion and vitality. And the challenge, the big obstacle that gets in the way of us living the life we want to live, is that we are deficient and lacking in this thing called energy. But I'm going to show you how to change that. So if you're tired of being tired, if you're tired of being sick, if you're tired of feeling chronically stressed, if you're tired of having no sex drive, if you're tired of feeling anxious and depressed, if you're tired of being emotionally flat, bored, and lacking passion, if you're tired of feeling fatigued and exhausted, then this is the training for you. When it comes to energy, there are two levels, two ways of being in the world. First, you have the norm. I call these the draggers. This is the majority of people suffering from chronic lack of energy. Waking up groggy and pressing the snooze button, not being able to get going without their coffee, sugar, or caffeinated drinks, needing to snack throughout the day to keep energy levels up, tired, overworked, depressed, anxious, stressed, exhausted, and burnt out, struggling to get through the day. They're constantly borrowing energy from tomorrow to pay for today with caffeine, sugar, and stimulants. And because of all this, they're slowly becoming bankrupt in something that's incredibly important to having a good life: energy and passion for life. Then you have the peak performers, those select few people who just seem to be bursting with energy and life, a level of superhuman energy. People like Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, and Tony Robbins. They're the ones who always seem happy, ready to take on a challenge, climb to the top of the mountain, and get it done with a smile. They're the Energizer bunnies who seem to accomplish more in the first few hours of the day than most of us complete in a week. We say things to them like, "Where do you get your energy?" And "I don't know how you do everything you do." These are people who fully bring their passion into the world and live each day to the fullest. People who light up the people around them and make them happy and excited just by their presence. This is the place you want to be operating from in life, right? When you're operating from this place, everything in your life gets better. In this place, you're actually living life instead of the other way around. You feel powerful and in control of your emotions and your destiny. You feel filled with passion and aliveness. And when somebody's operating at this level, you can see it in their eyes. You can look at them and you can see that they're full of vitality and life. Now, this might seem so far from where you are right now, it might sound like you could never achieve it. But believe me, not only is this possible, but I believe that it's the birthright of everyone on this planet. When you activate the right physiological systems using the right strategies, you can transform your life. And my goal is to show you the cutting-edge science that will allow you to do exactly that. So let's get right into it. I want to start by asking you a question and having you think about this. What are the factors that make you healthy and give you energy? Now, if you think about that for a moment, you might come up with a list like this. Good nutrition, eat the right foods, do exercise, get your sleep, get fresh air, water, vitamins and minerals, lowering your stress levels, things like that. And that's a decent start, but here's the thing. Many of these things act to make us healthy in completely different ways. And that's a really important point. There are actually two completely different types of things that make us healthy and energetic for totally different reasons. These are the two key strategies at the core of the Energy Blueprint system. So if you want to understand how to boost your energy levels, pay very close attention to what I'm about to share with you. The two most important strategies to increase your energy are 1, cellular regeneration, and 2, metabolic stimulation, or what I call building the cellular engine. To look at each of these a little bit more in depth, number 1 is cellular regenerators. This is comprised of optimal nutrition habits, movement habits, stress management habits, sleep hygiene habits, and circadian rhythm habits. Circadian rhythm, by the way, is our biological clock. Some of this is stuff that you're already familiar with if you're a health-conscious person. But even here, there's a huge amount of science that can take even these foundational habits to the next level. Number 2 is Cellular Engine Builders. This is comprised of advanced cutting-edge strategies that 99.9% of people, including even diet and fitness gurus themselves, have no clue about. We're going to talk in depth about this in video 3 of this video training series, so make sure to stick around for that. But to give you a quick overview, this is real cutting-edge science of energy enhancement. This is about building up your mitochondria in your cells, which are the cellular power plants or energy generators, and making them bigger and stronger. Basically, building the cellular engine is about exposing your body to certain kinds of stimuli that make your body adapt by creating a stronger internal cellular engine, building bigger, more powerful mitochondria, and even making more of these mitochondria so that you can literally upgrade the size of your cellular engine. For example, going from 500 mitochondria in each cell to 1,000 or more. One example of this type of cellular engine builder that you're already familiar with is, of course, exercise. But there's a whole bunch of others that you don't know about. And even with exercise, there are tons of tips and tricks that make all the difference in whether or not you actually build up your mitochondria, your cellular engine, or if you don't. Overall, I've discovered over a dozen factors beyond just exercise that can have a huge impact on building your cellular engine. And this is truly cutting-edge stuff that virtually no one knows. So here's the thing that you need to understand. Building high energy levels, peak performance, and world-class vitality is all about the cycling between these two states. When you amplify the rhythm of building your cellular engine and cellular regeneration, you have the recipe for transforming your energy levels. You want to create spikes of cellular engine building time and then go deep into cell regeneration mode. The bigger the oscillation, the better. You want big-time cellular engine building stimuli and then big-time ultra-powerful cell regeneration stimuli. This shifting back and forth between these states is where the real magic of maximal energy levels is. Now here's a key point. Most people are not doing either of these things very well. They aren't dialed in when it comes to cellular regeneration or building the cellular engine. Instead of having these spikes built into their life that are designed to build the cellular engine and then regenerate, they have neither. They're just flatlining. Now think of being in a hospital. What does a flat line mean? It's not a very good thing, right? Most people are flatliners when it comes to both cellular regeneration and cellular engine building. They're just not doing either very well. And flatlining on these two things is how to wreck your energy levels, not to mention predispose to countless diseases and make yourself overweight in the process. And here's the other key thing to realize. Most of the standard advice out there for increasing energy levels that you'll find in books and articles and programs and on the internet doesn't really get at either of these two factors. The same old health advice you've heard 1,000 times before, eat healthy, do exercise, lower your stress levels, get your sleep, take this supplement, eat your veggies, take your vitamins and minerals, go low carb, don't eat sugar, get rid of gluten and dairy, and drink lots of water. That stuff is a nice start, but it isn't enough to get you where you want to go. To get real results in enhancing your energy levels, you need to move way beyond this stuff. Fortunately, there's a whole world out there of powerful, cutting-edge scientific strategies that dramatically enhance the ability of your cells to produce energy. And if you stick with me, that's exactly what I'm going to share with you. We're going to get into some practical strategies that you can start using to build your energy levels in just a moment. First, I want to tell you how I came to discover and develop the Energy Blueprint system. In my work over the last decade as a nutritionist, trainer, author, and peak performance coach, I've seen fatigue and chronic lack of energy become an epidemic. I get dozens of emails every day from people who want help overcoming fatigue and who want to know how to increase their energy levels. Now, I want to tell you something interesting. My original specialty was actually fat loss, not energy. For over a decade, I've worked with people to dramatically transform their bodies. I even wrote a #1 best-selling book on fat loss that is now required reading material in many doctors' offices and dietitians' offices. But like I said, I wasn't always an expert on energy levels. When it came to people struggling with fatigue and energy, I would just tell people the typical stuff everyone has heard a million times before. eat right, do exercise, lower your stress levels, drink lots of water, get your sleep, etc. So when people came to me looking for advice on overcoming fatigue and enhancing their energy, I wanted somewhere to refer these people, where they could get better information than what I was giving them. Some great product for energy enhancement, or some person who was an expert on energy levels. Someone I could endorse and who I knew was providing a comprehensive, scientific approach to energy enhancement. So when I looked at what was out there, I was shocked to discover how utterly terrible most of the information is that's out there on the subject of energy levels. I had nowhere and no one that I felt comfortable referring these people to. And quite frankly, I was shaking my head at how much pseudoscientific garbage is out there on the subject of energy levels. So I decided to do something about it. I decided that I was going to create a comprehensive and truly scientific system for overcoming fatigue and dramatically increasing your energy. So here's what I did. I spent literally months reading various people's articles online, watching videos, buying products, and reading books on the subject of energy enhancement. Believe it or not, I actually went out and purchased literally every product in existence that I could find on the subject of energy levels. Books, seminar recordings, and digital audio and video products. I spent literally thousands of dollars of my own money, and I spent hundreds of hours obsessively studying all of these products. And a little side note here, but in this training, I'm actually going to show you everything that's in those programs for free. I've done something almost unheard of. I've provided a PDF, which you can download on this page, that outlines almost everything you can get out there on the subject of improving your energy. And I'm showing you exactly what you can expect to get if you go see a doctor or alternative medical practitioner. Why am I doing this? Because I'm sick and tired of all the garbage, pseudoscience, and misinformation that's out there. And I want to save you from potentially wasting thousands of dollars and years of wasted time and effort. Now, some of these products had some nuggets of good information in them. I don't want to make it seem like they were all bad. But for the most part, it was either the same old common sense advice that everyone's heard 1,000 times before. Eat good food, do exercise, drink water, de-stress, get your sleep. Or it was just made up pseudoscientific nonsense that has no basis in science and won't actually work to enhance your energy levels. Even worse, there were a lot of programs giving advice that goes directly against the science on this subject, and if anything, will actually make your body weaker and more fatigued. So at the end of all of that, after spending all that money and all that time, what I ultimately discovered is that no one out there was really addressing the fatigue epidemic with a real scientific solution. And that's why I took it upon myself to develop a truly scientific and evidence-based system for optimizing energy levels. And by the way, I certainly can't take all the credit because I didn't do it all alone. I was smart enough to reach out to several world-renowned experts in fields from nutrition to circadian biology to physicians on the front lines of treating fatigue to New York Times best-selling authors and world-renowned neuroscientists, all of whom made amazing contributions to this system. Now here's the thing. When I originally set out to do this, I never imagined that it would take me well over 2 years of full-time research into the science of energy levels, collaboration with several other scientific experts, and seemingly endless hours of experimentation with hundreds of my clients to do it. But after all was said and done, I realized that what I had put together with the help of all these experts was so groundbreaking that I knew it could help transform the lives of tens of thousands of people forever. A specific formula of 6 steps grounded in proven scientific research that cracked the code for energy enhancement. It's called the Energy Blueprint, and it's the first and only comprehensive science-backed system for energy enhancement ever created. This year, my goal is to help 10,000 people free themselves from fatigue and dramatically increase their energy levels and transform their lives. So I organized the system into a step-by-step 60-day training system that is basically the scientific blueprint for maximal energy levels. That's why the system is called the Energy Blueprint. So right now, I want to start teaching you 2 of the fundamental energy enhancement strategies of that system so that you can start laying the foundation for a lifetime of vitality, amazing health, and a life filled with energy. Now, I want to preface this with a little warning. I want you to know that some of the things that I'm going to ask you to do are not easy. I'm not just going to tell you that all you have to do is pop some magic pill every morning and everything will instantly be fixed. I'm not into selling gimmicks. I'm not into covering up symptoms with pills, and I'm not into trying to sell people on quick fixes and magic pill solutions. Hopefully, you're smart enough to know that that stuff doesn't work and actually makes people worse off in the long run. What I am into is teaching you how to do things the right way, to build a rock-solid core of vitality and energy that will be with you for the rest of your life. Knowledge isn't power. Knowledge plus action is power. So hopefully you're on board with that and you're ready to commit to this process of transforming your health and energy. So let's get into it. Remember those two key strategies I told you are at the core of energy enhancement: cellular regeneration and building your cellular engine. So let's start with one of the biggest energy zappers out there that is wrecking the energy of millions of people: imbalanced brain stimulation and brain recovery. When you're constantly overstimulating and overtaxing your brain, it increases the need for cellular regeneration. Unfortunately, a lot of people are asking their brains to work in overdrive all the time without giving it the regeneration that it needs. So right now, I want to give you two strategies. The first is that I'm going to show you how to stop overstimulating and overtaxing your brain and nervous system. And then I'm going to give you another strategy that you're going to love to help you start recharging your brain and nervous system for more energy. Coffee. It's one of the most widely consumed drinks around the world, and for good reason. First of all, it's delicious, and second of all, it gives you an awesome boost to your mood, to your performance, and to your energy levels. And that's probably why over 90% of people in North America drink coffee every day. So, what's the deal with coffee? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? There's so many different conflicting and contradictory opinions out there from health gurus. Some people are telling you it's the devil, it's terrible for you, you need to get rid of it and avoid it at all costs. Other people are telling you it's good for you, it's packed full of antioxidants and beneficial phytonutrients, it's a superfood and you should consume it and it helps prevent all these different diseases. So does coffee and caffeine give you a boost, or is it a sneaky imposter? Right now I'm going to break down the science for you, and trust me, this is a tricky subject that a lot of people misunderstand. Now, before I get into this, I want to say that I know you're scared right now that I'm about to tell you never to drink coffee or take caffeine again. So before you turn this video off and get mad at me, I want you to know that I'm not actually going to tell you that. In fact, as you're about to learn, there are plenty of health benefits to consuming coffee, and if you enjoy drinking it, I actually want you to keep doing it. But there's some nuances that are really, really important here. There's a right way and a wrong way to use coffee and caffeine, and most people get this wrong. Most people are using it in ways that are actually counterproductive for their mood, their energy, and their performance. So what is caffeine? Caffeine is a chemical stimulant that activates or stimulates the brain and central nervous system. Now, the primary place that people get it from is, of course, coffee, but it's also found in tea, chocolate, soda, as well as energy drinks and fat burner supplements, where the main ingredient is often synthetic caffeine. So how does caffeine work? In order to understand how caffeine works, we first need to understand another neurotransmitter called adenosine. The key point that you need to remember is this: more adenosine means lower energy. So picture a bunch of adenosine receptors on the brain and a bunch of adenosine floating around, and then as soon as it gets into those receptors, you get fatigued and tired. The more adenosine, the lower energy you will feel. So how does caffeine work? Well, now that you understand how adenosine works, caffeine is going to be really easy to understand. Caffeine works by inhibiting the action of adenosine. It basically binds to the adenosine receptors in the brain and then blocks the adenosine from getting in. So remember, when adenosine binds to those receptors, it lowers your energy. When caffeine is introduced, it competes with the adenosine for binding to the adenosine receptor. When caffeine binds to the adenosine receptor, it blocks adenosine from activating the receptor. What does that do? With the adenosine receptors plugged up by caffeine, the brain then basically acts like there's a lot less adenosine in the system. It doesn't detect that adenosine is there. The adenosine is still floating around, but it can't get to the receptors in the brain because caffeine is blocking it. So by blocking the fatiguing effect of adenosine, you create an energizing stimulant effect. So more caffeine means less adenosine, which means you feel more awake and energized. And that's exactly what caffeine does to you. And of course, you know that already because you've actually felt those effects firsthand. So now that you understand how caffeine works, let's talk about the science around whether this is actually a good effect when it comes to your health, when it comes to your mood, your performance, mental and physical performance, as well as your energy levels. So first of all, in the short term, here's the good news about caffeine and coffee. First, we see a great mood and performance and energy benefit after consuming caffeine. So if we look at a normal person's performance, we see something like this, kind of like a flat line throughout the day. And then if we take that same person and give them caffeine, we see a boost to their energy, their mood, and their performance. So that's the good news. So here's the other good news. The long-term data on habitual coffee consumption actually shows that coffee helps prevent numerous diseases, like heart disease, various kinds of cancer, diabetes, and several others. So that's the good news. But there's some bad news here. The bad news is that the way that most people are consuming coffee is actually harming their mental and physical performance, their mood, and their energy levels. So stick with me here because this is where the science gets a little complex. Remember back to how caffeine works in our brains. It creates a stimulating effect by blocking adenosine. The adenosine's still floating around, but it can't get to the receptors in the brain because caffeine's blocking it. So that's what creates that stimulant energizing effect. So here's the deal. In the short term, this effect is actually a beautiful thing. Overall, it makes you more energized, enhances your mood, and is proven to enhance your mental and physical performance. As I told you before, the normal level of performance is kind of like a flat line, and then if you give that person caffeine, you see a boost to their performance, their mood, and their energy levels. And there's plenty of research to show that people will get those energy, mood, and performance benefits. Sounds great, right? Here's the catch. First, once the caffeine wears off several hours later, adenosine comes back with a vengeance, and your mood, energy, and performance all take a hit. So that's the part that I didn't show you before. Now you might be thinking, well, at that point you can just drink another cup of coffee, right? Well, not so fast, because here's the much bigger problem. If you drink coffee every day, or most days, you actually create negative neurotransmitter adaptations in your brain. Because caffeine is plugging up your adenosine receptors, the brain is being chronically overactivated and overstimulated. So what does it do in that situation? It tries to balance itself out and slow things down by making more adenosine receptors. When caffeine is plugging up those adenosine receptors, the brain just creates more adenosine receptors. That creates two effects. First, you develop a tolerance to caffeine. That means you start needing more caffeine, more cups of coffee to get you going and get you through the day. Much more importantly, your baseline energy, mood, and level of mental and physical performance all drop from chronic caffeine consumption. In other words, it changes your new normal state when you don't have caffeine in your system by lowering everything, your mood, your performance, and your energy. So remember back to what I told you before, that coffee is proven to enhance people's mood, performance, and energy levels. Well, here's the really important part that I didn't tell you before. That only happens in people who don't regularly consume coffee. For those people who don't normally drink coffee, if they have a cup of coffee, they will get a boost to their mood, energy, and mental and physical performance. But if you drink it all the time, you won't get any of these benefits. Now at this point you might be thinking, but Ari, I drink coffee all the time and I do feel that it improves my mood, energy, and performance. And you're absolutely right that you do feel that, but you're not actually getting the benefits that you think you are. So let me break this down so it makes sense. If we look at the long-term data on the effects on mood, energy, and performance in people who never drink coffee versus those who drink coffee every day, we actually see no difference at all. In other words, drinking coffee has basically zero benefit on mood, energy, or performance when you drink it all the time. People who are on coffee have the same energy and performance as those who never drink coffee. But people who drink coffee all the time do feel like it improves their mood, energy, and performance. So how can we reconcile these two things? Simple. There is now a large body of scientific evidence showing that in people who drink coffee regularly, the benefits of coffee consumption for mood, energy, and performance are almost entirely due to something researchers call withdrawal reversal. What that means is that you're not actually getting a true benefit even though you feel like it's giving you a boost. A recent study from researchers at Johns Hopkins University did something most research on caffeine never did. They controlled for the caffeine use of the participants. That means they divided people into two different groups depending on whether or not they normally drink caffeine in their daily life. When they tested these participants, what they found was shocking. They discovered that caffeine-related performance improvement is non-existent without caffeine withdrawal beforehand. In other words, coming off caffeine reduces your mental and physical performance and your energy levels. So when you drink caffeine and feel like it's taking you to new heights, it's actually not. What's actually happening is that the habitual caffeine consumption has lowered your baseline level of performance and your mood and energy level. You've now lowered your function all the time that you're not on caffeine. Now remember what I showed you before about caffeine-induced energy and performance increases. This is the normal state of energy and performance. This was the person who you give caffeine to. Here's what I didn't tell you. This is only for short-term effects of taking caffeine when you don't normally consume it. Here's what happens in people who consume caffeine very frequently, like every day or nearly every day. They actually have a lower baseline level of performance, and then when they consume that caffeine, it just takes them back up to what is actually a normal level of performance and energy. This is what most coffee drinkers and caffeine consumers don't realize about the boost that they're getting. So when you feel yourself getting a boost from caffeine, what's actually happening is that you're just going from your low baseline level of energy and performance back up to what used to be your normal levels before you started using caffeine. There's a huge amount of research that backs this up. If you want to see for yourself, you can go on PubMed and look up caffeine and the words withdrawal reversal. You'll find hundreds of studies that back this up. Basically, by drinking coffee every day, you're not actually getting the boost that you think you are. What's really going on is that you're now spending most of your life with a poorer mood, lower energy, and worse mental and physical performance, and you're now dependent on caffeine just to function normally. So if you use caffeine regularly, it's time to recognize the reality that you have now worsened your normal mood, performance, and energy levels. So hopefully at this point, you get all of this and you're ready to do something about it. So what's the solution? How can you get the health benefits of coffee without lowering your baseline mood, performance, and energy levels? And while maybe even getting a true boost from your coffee? Simple. Cycle on and off caffeine. Use it for 1 to 2 days and then take 2 to 3 days off of it. Or use it for 2 weeks and then go off for 2 weeks. Coffee is actually a wonderful solution for an instant boost in energy when you need it occasionally. But the thing about quick fix solutions like caffeine or sugar-filled energy drinks is that when you start using them every day to get a boost, you pay a heavy price. They make you worse off in the long run. So if you want to get the benefits of caffeine without the drawbacks, you have to cycle on and off. That's how you can use caffeine the right way that will allow you to actually get a real boost from it while also getting the health benefits. But it's not quite that simple. If you're a habitual caffeine user, you actually have to clean out your system and reset the entire neurotransmitter system in your brain. Like I told you before, the brain has actually made negative adaptations in these neurotransmitter systems. So you have to fix that before you can go into cycling on and off. So to undo those negative adaptations and increase your baseline level of energy and performance, you have to do something that's going to feel really hard for a lot of you. You have to give your brain a complete break from caffeine for several weeks. I recommend at least 3 weeks completely off, but 5 to 6 weeks is even better. You can use decaf coffee if you'd like during this time, or you can go off coffee and all sources of caffeine completely. Once you've reset this neurotransmitter system in your brain, now you can actually raise your baseline performance, your mood, and your energy levels. Now, of course, I understand that this isn't the easiest thing to do. But trust me, it's absolutely worth it. This is one of the most important steps to building a foundation of real energy. Now, since this isn't a very fun or easy step, I do want to give you one more energy boosting strategy in this video that is fun and easy. To do that, I'm going to take you down to one of my favorite places in the world. Hey there, this is Ari, and I'm down at the beach in San Diego, California, one of my favorite places in the world, doing one of my favorite things to do in the world, playing with my dog, Mila, who you see right over here. So, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest energy zappers that wrecks people's energy. Just as you can overstimulate your brain and overwork your brain too much, the other side of that coin is you need to also give your brain some recharge time. And this relates to cellular regeneration. Okay, you need to build in what I call recharge rituals into your life. Now, one of the most powerful recharge rituals that you can integrate into your life is to do something that you love, something that you're passionate about, something that makes you play, that gets you into that childlike, playful spirit. And there is no better example of this than my dog over here. And the reason I tell you that is my dog Mila is now 12 years old, which for a boxer, that's the breed she is, that's actually pretty darn ancient. A lot of boxers die when they're 8 or 9 years old. Mila is now 12. So she's not only alive, she's doing great. But at the same time, we still feel the fact that she's 12. She's not the same dog as she was when she was 3, 4, or 5. When we take her for our normal walk around the neighborhood, she's kind of dragging on the leash. She walks slowly. She doesn't have that same energy and pep in her step like she did when she was younger. But when we take her here, down to the beach, this place that she loves more than anything in the world, she goes crazy. And instead of us having to drag her on the leash, she's now dragging us. And as soon as we let her off the leash, she just takes off sprinting and she just wants to play. And she is so incredibly energized from being in this place that she gets to do what she loves to do. And this is neglected by so many people out there. As we get older, it's so common for us to just get wrapped up in our careers, wrapped up in, you know, the stresses of our lives, paying the bills, and we neglect the things that we love to do the most in life. And it absolutely destroys our energy. Now, a lot of people, as common as this sounds, as obvious as it sounds, a lot of people don't realize this, and they try to fix their health or their energy levels by going on the magic, diet program and spending thousands of dollars on, nutritional supplements, and they don't realize that if you don't take care of this, what is, the foundation of it all, just spending time doing something that you love. If you don't do the simple stuff, you can spend as many thousands of dollars on fancy nutritional supplements as you want, but you're not gonna get healthy and fix your energy. So there's no better example of this than my dog Mila. When we take her down to the beach, this place that she loves so much, she becomes a completely different dog, just absolutely filled with energy and vitality. So, of course, this doesn't only apply to dogs, it also applies to humans, even though a lot of us forget it. So, as much as this seems like common sense, as much as it seems obvious, it's not. And 99.9% of people are not doing this. So, when we don't make time for the things that we love, that we're passionate about, that get us energized and recharge us and fill us with energy, we slowly get stripped of our energy. And these recharge rituals are incredibly powerful. This is the foundation for building high energy for life. So what I want you to do for the next 2 weeks during this virtual training, I want you to commit to spending at least 20 minutes a day doing something that you love, something that you're passionate about, something that recharges you and re-energizes you. Those things that you've been neglecting, you haven't been making time for it, now I want you to start making time for it. So now's the time. For the next 2 weeks, commit to at least 20 minutes a day. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it's being down at the beach playing with your dog, being with your family or your kids, watching movies, reading books, going to dance classes, doing yoga, whatever it is for you, make time for that. Make time to recharge your brain and body. It's so powerful. For the next 2 weeks, that's what I want you to commit to. Come here, Mila.
So that's how I want you to get started on this journey of overcoming fatigue and building your energy levels. Just these 2 simple steps. But just because they're simple, don't underestimate them. 99% of people are not doing these things consistently, and that's a big reason why they don't have great energy levels. I also want to tell you one more important thing right now. If you're currently addicted to caffeine, doing what I'm telling you to do here is not going to be easy for you, and you're not going to instantly feel great by following my advice and taking a break from caffeine. In fact, you're probably going to feel worse initially. You might get headaches and your mood and energy will be lower temporarily. That's why I'm also giving you a strategy that will give you an instant boost to your energy along with this. Hopefully, the recharge ritual of spending time doing something you love each day will help to partially or completely offset the drop in energy you'll feel from going off caffeine. It's okay if you feel a little drop right now, though. That's the reality of what needs to be done if you want to break your dependence on caffeine and start building your energy and vitality the right way. Caffeine is a crutch for most people. It's time to get off the crutches and start building real vitality, power, and energy in your body. Like I said, I'm not into Band-Aid solutions and covering up symptoms with pills. This isn't about doing things to double your energy instantly by tomorrow. We're taking just one step back, just temporarily, in order to take 10 huge steps forward and build a foundation of energy and vitality that's going to last you for the rest of your life. It's not an instant fix, but if you stick with me and start following my methods, I promise you that in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, you will be a completely new person. You'll dramatically decrease your risk of dozens of diseases, you'll add years or decades to your life, and you'll be filled with vitality, passion, and energy. The first essential step in getting results in this area of your life is this. You have to commit. As my good friend John Assaraf says, when you're interested, you'll do whatever is convenient. When you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. So if you want great energy for life, then you have to commit to getting this area of your life handled. Most people, the draggers, put themselves into a hole because they're not committed to great health and energy. They think only about getting themselves through that day, and they try to rely on quick fixes and Band-Aid solutions to try to fix their energy and performance. The problem with that is that in the end, it just makes their energy, performance, and their health worse. I don't want that to happen to you. And if you've been doing that till now, I'm going to show you the way out. Energy is at the foundation of everything important in our lives. Our health destiny, our career destiny, our relationship destiny, everything. So when it comes to your vitality and energy, this is one area where you don't want to take shortcuts and you want to do things the right way. I'm going to show you how to do things the right way, the real way to build true strength, vitality, and energy. Now, this is a process. So right now, I want to ask something of you. I want you to commit. This video and today, right now, is all about commitment. After this series of training videos is over, whether or not you choose to continue working with me to increase your energy and improve your health in your body, I want you to make the commitment right now. Not to me. I want you to commit to yourself and to your family, your friends, and anyone you're in a relationship with. I want you to decide right now, this moment, while watching this video, that this is the beginning of your commitment to building real vitality, strength, and energy that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. That instead of dragging yourself through the day, looking for shortcuts to health and energy, and relying on quick fix Band-Aid solutions to get yourself through the day, you're going to do what's necessary to be healthy, strong, and full of energy for life. So are you ready to commit? Good. Trust me, your future self and everyone you know will thank you for this commitment later. If you decide to follow what I teach you in this training, it can genuinely change your life. Remember, there are two ways of being in the world when it comes to energy. You can be like everyone else who's burnt out and chronically lacking energy and having to drag themselves through each day. Or you can start building yourself into a high energy peak performer who brings passion and aliveness into everything they do. Stick with me on this training series because that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. Now, I just want to let you know, we're just warming up here. There's a ton of amazing stuff headed your way in this training series. Right now, I want you to get started with the 2 strategies we talked about in this video. Don't just think about them, but actually do them. So what are the next steps to really increase your vitality and energy? Join me in our second video and I'll show you 3 powerful strategies that hundreds of my clients have used to massively enhance their health and energy within weeks. These are cutting-edge strategies you can start using immediately to increase your cellular regeneration and start building your energy right away. And the awesome bonus to these strategies is that some of them have the side benefit of dramatically reducing your risk for cancer, diabetes, and numerous other diseases. Not to mention that they have the potential to add a whole lot of years to your life. Okay, Are you inspired to start building your energy? Are you interested or are you committed? Committed, right? Good. So for now, download the PDF summary document on this page so you can remember all the key points we just talked about. Then, I want you to do something important. Leave me a comment down below this video. Tell me that you're going for it. You're ready to commit to a lifetime of vitality and energy. I'm going to be down there daily in the comments section, reading your comments and personally replying to as many of them as I can. And I would love to hear from you. So if you could do that for me, that would be awesome. I can't wait to hear from you. And then make sure to tune in to our next video, where I'm going to show you 3 powerful strategies to boost your cellular regeneration to immediately start building your energy levels. I'll see you then.